Here it is. I came to the park to have a little place to film this video. So there's been a few things that I've been thinking about a lot recently, and I feel like by sharing them I could possibly help someone out in a similar situation or just give you someone to relate to, I guess. So what I wanted to talk about was feeling insecure about having diabetes. I realized that my mentality about having diabetes and how I feel about it and to like telling other people about it has completely changed. I was diagnosed when I was 11 years old in 6th grade. And so at that point in time, obviously being diagnosed with something and having to do things that other kids didn't have to do was very hard, and it was hard to adjust having to like go to the nurse before lunch and like carry a bag around when the other kids didn't have to carry a bag around. Or if my Dexcom alerts would go off in class, everyone would be like, ooh, who has their phone out? I remember that being like such a big deal to me at the time. I had the T-Slim pump before I had the Omnipod, so I remember having the tube pump in 6th grade, so I would wear like a little belt thing and I could clip it on there. I hated wearing that. I hated wearing it during volleyball because I was always so worried about, oh my god, like I'm the one that stands out. I thought people weren't gonna like me because I had diabetes. Let's put it like that. It was like such an irrational thought, but it's a thought that I had, and I feel like I'm probably not the only one that's had that thought. So I wanted to share kind of how I've like overcame that and my perspective on things now. So I wrote this in my journal this morning. I said, now I realize that it's okay that I'm different because I'm still me. I'm just me plus diabetes now. And not everyone is going to be educated on diabetes, so instead of getting hurt when people make jokes, I just realized they don't understand what they're talking about and are just insensitive to the subject. And I said, it's not my problem, it's theirs. I'm always glad to educate anyone who is wanting to learn more about diabetes as well. And that is definitely one of the biggest changes, is not getting offended when people don't understand or like make jokes, because that's truly just as simple as they don't know what they're talking about. They don't understand, they aren't knowledgeable in diabetes, especially type 1. Like I would always get mad that people thought I got diabetes because I was fat. I didn't want them thinking those things about me, even though they weren't true, and I can't control what other people think. And that's what I needed to realize in order to overcome that fear. People still make the jokes, but I just am unbothered by it. I don't react. I don't laugh because I don't think it's funny still, but like I don't get mad about it either. I think time had a lot to do with allowing me to accept my diagnosis. Time and gaining a better understanding of what diabetes is and realizing that people that don't live with it don't understand fully ever what it's like to live with it. You can learn all the facts. I hope this man is not looking at me film right now. You can learn all the facts you want, read every possible research article about diabetes, but if you don't have it and you don't live with it, I truly believe you'll never fully understand what it's like. And so with that being said, I don't think it's appropriate to make jokes about any chronic disease that you do not have, because it's not your place. It's very sensitive to some people, and I feel like you don't have that power to make that joke and for it to be respectful. And even me myself, I would never make a diabetes joke because it doesn't even make sense and it's not funny. So there's my little tangent about that. I also wanted to throw in how this relates to my fitness journey and my relationship that I have with like my body and my relationship with food. So I remember after being diagnosed, I remember just growing up, my parents were always like super into fitness and like the gym and stuff, and so I kind of grew up around that and like eating pretty healthy. I remember I started doing like HIIT workouts and cardio. I feel like that's where like most girls start out, and I remember doing that as early as like middle school time. I remember that's when I first started like comparing my body to other girls' bodies and thinking, oh, I'm not pretty enough, all the things that you go through in middle school. And so I started working out because I didn't like my body, and my mindset has completely flipped since then, and I feel like I have such a more healthy relationship with the gym now because of that, because Now I work out because I want to feel strong and I want to be healthy. And it's something that I'm passionate about and I like putting my time into. It's like a hobby that I have because I like eating to fuel my body and I like eating foods that make me feel good. And I've taken the time to kind of sort through and decide which meals help me like perform the best. And it's honestly helped with diabetes management as well because I track my macros so I can see how many carbs exactly I'm eating, especially when I like measure everything out. And that in itself can become unhealthy and like an obsession, and it has for me at some points, and so I've stopped. But what I've realized recently is I truly like counting my macros because I like to know that I'm getting enough protein and I like to know that I'm eating enough carbs because I want to see results from lifting. In the past, I used to track because I didn't want to overeat, I didn't want to like gain weight, and I was trying to just shrink myself, be the smallest that I could possibly be. And now I track because I want to eat enough and I want to make sure that I'm not losing weight because I'm under eating. It's crazy how everything can flip, and it's so much more enjoyable when you take the pressure off of trying to be perfect, because when you set that unrealistic expectation of every single day I'm going to eat the same food, I'm going to have the perfect macros, life just doesn't always work out that way. And so you have to allow yourself to kind of be okay with changes in the schedule. Like sometimes you might go out to dinner and that's totally fine. Say I'm going out to dinner one night, I would track breakfast and lunch and just know about how many calories and macros I have left for dinner, and I don't stress out about it. That one meal isn't gonna make or break everything. And it's such a more healthy way to view it and allow for some room. That's why people say the 80-20 rule is like the best. And I honestly agree with that, because you have to hold yourself accountable. You can't just slack off every single meal every day, because where's that gonna get you? That's not taking you towards any goals. But if you hold yourself accountable 80% of the time and then allow yourself to have fun and enjoy life and like treat yourself, then that's totally fine. I'm sure, as you know now, I'm more into lifting weights over cardio. I did run track and cross country throughout high school and middle school, and I feel like that's why I was really small as well, just because I was a distance runner and always doing cardio, and I definitely was not eating enough food. I feel like I'm in a pretty good spot right now mentally with the gym. I did just take last week and like half of the week before that off because I was almost just feeling burnt out. I felt like I was just going through the motions at the gym and not truly like getting into the workout. I wanted to take a break in order to allow myself time away so that I could miss it and go back feeling good and having fun again, because that's really important to me, is to have fun as well. While I work out, I want to enjoy it. So I've gone the past 3 days now, because today is Wednesday when I'm filming this, and it's been really great so far. So I'm really looking forward to what is to come in the future. And I told myself after I finished this last 12-week program that I would try creating my own. So I might start working on that. But I think that's like all I wanted to talk about. And so hopefully you can relate in some way or gained something from this video. Thank you for watching. I appreciate you, and I will see you soon in my next video. Goodbye.